This is recording, and okay, I think this is recording now. So welcome guys, and tonight, if we are fast enough, if we can understand enough, I think most of us did we're going to look at a new data type in Python, and which is going to be set. And it's very obvious that when we're in school, back in the secondary school level, I believe we have been taught what set is, and this is a practical kind of course when it comes to Python programming. You just have just to refresh your knowledge on set, on how it is, how those intersection of set, union of set, a whole lot of operations, subsets, and all those kind of supersets, and so on and so forth. So we'll just be looking at how we can actually use it in Python, and we can look at the different methods in of sets using Python as well. So it's going to be a very, just going to be a very brief class, because I believe it's something that we have done before. And let's just get started immediately. So I'll be sharing my screen shortly, and we'll be as fast as we can. May not really take much time to tonight's class. So let's just share. I will be sharing my screen, and so let's get started and let's see what we have. So we have sets here. So you can see now we're going to look at sets. And the very first thing I can actually say about sets is the creation itself. How do we create sets? And let's see the meaning of sets when it comes to the Pythonic kind of way. So far we have covered list, we have also covered dictionary, and we have looked at tuple. So I believe at this stage, if you do not get this concept of list, dictionary, and tuple, you have actually lost a very basic foundation. Then I think we are still going to go to strings and the rest, but at least we all actually know what strings are already. We may decide to skip that particular place, but nevertheless, now we want to learn another built-in data type in Python, which is set. And what is set? If they will ask you, they can tell you that set is a data type that includes other data types. For example, we have a list, dictionary, and string as well. It is unordered and unindexed. That means you cannot call out an index just like list and strings and say, okay, this is the index of. No, it's not. It doesn't work that way. You can't call it out that way. It is unordered, just like the dictionary. And elements are unique. When we mean by elements are unique, you're also going to see it means that no two elements can have the same value. Like for example, for example, an element inside a set is two. Another one cannot be two. It must be unique in nature. It is created. You create sets. You can't just come to and say, okay, this is set. I want to put it inside set. You have to create it itself and define it as well. Okay. How do we create set? We create it through, please take note of this. This is also the same curly brackets with dictionary, but this particular one is different because you're going to see it as well, because we do not have the key value pairs at some point, and you're going to see it as well. So the first thing we want to do tonight is to create a set via this curly bracket, and we define a variable. Remember what a variable is. We want to store a particular value. Anything that stores a particular value is definitely a variable. So in this particular value is going to be an empty kind of dictionary. This is a dictionary itself. Don't worry about it. We are still getting there. And by the time we call out my set, it's going to give us an empty dictionary. And if we want to check the type of that particular variable name, which is my underscore set, you can see it is a dictionary. Now, an empty dictionary, by the time we put things inside of it without putting it as key value pairs. Remember in dictionary, we used to put it as key values. We have key and we have values separated by, we have colons and separated by commas. But in this particular case, you can see a set of animals here. We have dog, comma, cat, and horse. And if you call out my set, you can see it comes out cat, dog, and horse. And if you now check the type of that particular set, you can see that it is now called set. compared to the other one that was just an empty one and it was a dictionary. But by the time you put in the value, is the value inside the container, the elements inside a particular curly bracket that would define if it is a set or not. So by the time we fix it up and it doesn't have key value pairs, it means it is a set. Now, how can we also create set via set function, or what they call it, the method of the function of it, call it out an inbuilt function. So you use letters. For example, we want to define letters. You can see what I'm doing right now. You can see how it is. You start with a normal bracket open, follow with a curly bracket, open and close, and put with a closed bracket, a normal bracket as well. So letters equals to, now you call out the name set. As we have defined on line 1, we put in the values in which we want, as A, B, C, D. And we see how I'm putting it. By the time you call out letters, it will give you set itself. It defines a set and you call out the type letters equals to what? Set. Now, the next thing when I talk about the uniqueness of sets, same element in a set, only one. So you can see now grades. Let's say we want, this is a list. Now, grades is equals to A, B, C, B, C. Okay, we print grades. It's going to give us a list because it is a square bracket. But let's convert this list to set. I don't know who can do that right now. How can we convert a list to set? Anybody that wants to try can put it in the chat box. How can we convert a list to set? You can put it in the chat box wherever you are. How can we convert a list to set? Put it in the chat box. How can we convert a list to set? For example, in this particular case, we have grade equals to A, B, C, B, C. And we print the grades, it gives us a list. So how can we convert that particular grade? We can put it in a variable, convert it to a set. How can we do that? Who wants to try out something? Okay, you can see someone is typing in the chat box. Please, it's better you just come up with something, even though you know it already. I know, just try to type in something, respond something, so that we know that we are actually following up. Okay, how can we convert a list to a set? I believe who is not in this particular class, someone is missing. I'm trying to get the person, and that person should be. Okay, who is here? Someone is missing. I was supposed to be 9. Oh, okay. Mr. Mark is here. Okay, Emmanuel is not here. Emmanuel Amudu is not here. The only one that is not here. It's good. The attendance is good. So we should try and come in on time. So I'm still waiting for the answers in the comment section, in the chat box. We need to see how we can change a particular list to sets. How can we do that? How can we do that? Okay, I can see some persons are still typing, and let's wait for them to type because it's very important that they get into practice on this to see what is actually going on.
Sorry, I'm unable to send the message. I was just typing, like it's not sending, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. So how can you change it? By using what?
I think by using sets.
By using set, okay. By set and
by using sets.
By using set, referencing the data type or the variable you want to change the value. Okay. All right. So thank you very much. Mr. Mark is still typing, and I believe some persons are also still typing. But maybe it's the network that is the issue. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So someone is saying set list equals to. Okay. All right. That's amazing. Well done. Well done. So okay, I can see Mr. Mark. Okay, this is amazing. Well done. This is okay. Okay, said not said. I understand. It's okay. We get it. All right, well done. Thank you for trying. So what we do here, we just also convert a list. You can just say great, name it, give it another name, and fix it up and say, okay, set. Call out the name, the function name, which is set, and put the grade that was formerly a list, and you get your answer in no time. Okay, so that's amazing, fantastic, well done, Mr. Funso. Thank you very much for trying. So by the time you do that and you call out the grade underscore set, you have the answer, which you can see the difference is quite clear. This one was A B C B C. You can see by the time you change it to a set, all those replications, all those ones that are not unique becomes if there are three A's, it would only take only one A. B, only one B came out. C, only one C came out. So you can see A, B, C. Okay, so that what happens right now. Now we want to convert a string to a set. How do we do that? Text, we define a variable name which is equals to Python data science. Take notes, the next stage is going to be for Python for data science. I think that's one of the things that inspired this. So Python for data science. The next thing will be the next stage of our learning. Even though it's also going to be beginner friendly, even though you have never coded before in Python, you guys will be on an advantage because you know the foundational, you have the foundational knowledge of Python, and I know how it's going to be in the next cohort. A lot of questions will be asked, and so I have you guys in line that you'll be able to like say, okay, this is how we used to do it, and we can put others through as well. The method of learning will also be quite different. We'll be shared into groups, and each group will have a leader and something like that. Maybe we call it peer learning and see how you it will be more of a competition. Let's see your team, how you can make your team come up with certain projects. It's going to be project based and for sure. So you work together and come up with certain project deliveries, and it will make a whole lot of sense. So right now we're just going to string to set, and but this Python for data science is definitely a string because inside a quotation, and by the time you change it to set, you can just call out the set function and reference the text which has the string. By the time you call out the text underscore set, you can see it comes out in form of a set with unique characters. Even the space are characters on its own. And you can see in this one, we had almost how many, all the unique characters are coming out. Even the space itself was a character. You can see there is a space here and also there's a space, but it came out of only one space because it has to be unique, just one space. So the same thing that we're doing here for sentence. Sentence is a string here. We convert it to a set. By the time you convert it, it's very quite easy enough. And what I was trying to do here, remember when I told you that it is on index. You cannot index what set. You can see by the time you want to reference it, it says set object is not subscriptable. It's very important that we understand this concept. The index is what is not what subscriptable. So I mean, you cannot reference it and it will not come out for you. So let's go straight to set methods. Set methods. We can see we don't have much to do for set, but set even in my what they call it in my field so far, I've not really had to use set like that. But it's a very important concept as well. We will definitely use it along the way. So we need to just learn it as well. So let's go to the set methods. What are the methods? This is when the mathematics then when we're in secondary school come in. The first one we look at the intersection of two sets. If you want actually intersection of two sets, what do you feel it should be? A intersection B, what would it give us? Something like that. I don't know if someone wants to explain then. If you still have the basic understanding of that thing, I don't know if you remember that those days, but intersection of sets, we'll still see it here right now. Let's see how we can make that possible. Okay, so let's just start some things. We define certain. We are still doing the changing from list to set. You can see this is the same thing we did here. Take note, this one is great. This other one is letters. We change it to set and and we make it unique enough. So you can see we have grades, set grades, and we also have grades that are also letters and they are unique in nature. So this when the intersection comes in. I don't know, since I've not stopped to pause and ask alpha. Okay, Mr. Man said common elements in set A and B. Wonderful. It means you still remember these things. Those years. It makes a whole lot of sense. So I don't know if yes. I don't know. Thank you, Mr. Mark. Well done. This is amazing. You still remember all these things. Okay. I don't know. At this point, I'll ask if you have any questions, because I've not paused to ask questions. I believe if there were questions, someone could have just unmuted and say something. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm able to now. Miss Emedion, it seems you are the only lady that is left in this competition. Uh, okay, I just observed it right now. Women in tech, and she's the only one that has been strong enough to stand still and say yes, she's good to go and join the rest of the big guys. Okay, it's good. I just observed it now. Like I was just like, she's the only lady here. Okay, well done. Thank you very much. It's not that I'm giving you a preference, but you have really tried. I've followed you for the past few weeks and months. You have been an amazing student, and you stand to like. Let's see how it's gonna be with at the end of everything. But I believe there are certain people that I'm very sure will be in the finals. And if you are here in this meeting, I'm very sure that you can make it to the very finals. It's very wonderful how to see how we all started 30. I mean, I think we're almost 30 something of us. And now look at us. I used to sit there and say, okay, is there anything that we actually did wrong and what we could have done better? But nevertheless, it's learning and it's always like this. I was even thinking at this stage, have left. But right now I can see that these guys are doing well. You guys are really doing fantastic. I'm super proud. Like there are certain things I'm very confident. Not like before, if I'm explaining this thing, I find it very easy right now instead of just be typing codes and you guys are understanding this thing. Please, I know this method I'm using is something that could be very lazy way, but at least we have projects and quiz as well. Please take notes and make sure you do not let it allow you to stop coding as well. But as far as you understand these things, the hands-on it will not be a problem for you. Thank you very much. Okay, Medium is amazing. Try how at your own risk. No, try how at your own risk. Okay, thank you very much. Let's just continue with the class. And well done everyone for still making it up to this stage. Okay, Mark the hype man. Okay, let's continue, guys. Now look at the A intersection B. You can see a great. Now we're trying to do the intersection here, and we have you can say where did we get this intersection? It is an inbuilt method that we use for sets. Okay, you can see here grade intersection B. It means A grades at A. Please, if you have question, always unmute and talk. I may not be able to see that you have raised up your hand. Please, okay. Okay, so you can see grade intersection letters. It means grade had A, B, C. Letters had A, B, F, L, T. So if you do grade dot intersection, dot is always trying to tell, okay, I'm getting set to call out a particular function or method, and I'm going to use it on a particular variable. And this particular one is set letters, and you can see it means that it's only A and B that is common in both grades and letters. And C can see C is not there, FLT is not in both. So if the return of it will be A, comma B in a set. The same thing with union of two sets. You can see here A dot union B means that the things that are coming, you bring them together and it also has to be unique. You can see A, B, C, F, L, T. We did not add other, like in this particular one, we had C and we had B, we had A. We did not come and say we should have A, B, B. All of them were unique in nature. So A, B came out, C, F, L, T. And you can see how it goes. So how can we find the difference of two sets? The difference of two sets. Okay, you can see that here, the difference of two sets. You can actually you can see the meaning here, like the what they call it back then in mathematics is A backward slash B. The difference of A and B. You can see great dot difference letters, and you can see C comes in first for great dot difference. You can see here, it actually means wonderful things as well. The first one, great, was here, and let difference and letters. I don't know at any point who can see the output of this one and tell me the difference. Who can explain why is this one C and why is this one FLT? Back then in mathematics ways now, anybody that wants to try, why is this the first one C and why is the other one FLT? Anybody that wants to try? Anybody? Maths guys, then maths is just simple set methods. Anybody that wants to try? Anybody? Okay. So I believe, but do you understand what is going on? Mr. Cole, Mr. Mark, Mr. Fon, anybody, do you understand what I'm explaining so far? I hope.
Yes, we do.
Are you sure? Because what about the difference of the sets? Something. Do you have any explanation to that? Okay.
Not really, not really.
Okay. There's no problem. We can just anybody that wants to try can still try. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Mark here. Let me
Okay,
attempt.
Yes,
Okay,
Mr. Mark, you're here.
what is going on is that, please, can you go back to the code? Okay, no,
Yes,
I'm with. So, okay, no, the first one that says grades dot difference, no, letters. So it's not looking at the unique letter in grades that is not in letters, and now print that one. It's like saying, okay, let me use, for example, it's like saying ABCD. Okay, ABC, then CDE. So that's what is happening. Then the second one is now reversing turning it upside down. So you now look at the unique letters in the. Oh, you are confusing me now. so what is going on in the second part is that is now using the letters as a point of reference. So we now look at grades. So those characters that are in the letters that are not in grades.
Yes,
so
they are not in grades. Fantastic. Well done. Well done. Thank you very much for the explanation. So it means that the first grade it's A B C, and the second one is A B F L T. If I'm not mistaken, A B. Okay, A B C F. Okay, no, not that one. That one is different. So A B F L T, and this one is A B C. So you can see A B here is taken out, AB here is taken out, and C here is inside because the first set we are referencing is the grade. So C is not being cancelled by any of these particular ones because they are not, there is no uniqueness in terms of the other compared to the other sets. So that's why it happens that way. The same thing with when you call out the letters itself. So you can see letters comes first, and we are subtracting this one from this. So there is definitely A, B, and you can see it is left with FLT. There's no FLT in the other set, so it doesn't have anything to do with it. I believe at this, I don't know if anybody wants to add any other explanation towards it. Don't know if anybody has any explanation towards this. Any other person that wants to explain more things? Any other person? Okay, I believe my explanation is okay. Okay, so if you still want to add your own way of making us understanding the more, you can always you have the floor to do that, please. Okay, so let's just go to the next one. You can see here we have what is called subset. If a set is the subset of the other one B, A dot is subset B. Let's see, this one is going to come out as a Boolean value. Please, who unmuted himself? If you wanted to ask question, please ask. You're always free to unmute yourself if you want to ask question. Okay. All right. So I don't have a question. Mr. Foso, you have a question?
No, I'm having issues with my network. That's why I'm looking out.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
All right. So the next method we're going to look at is the is subset. That checks if a set A is in the subset of the other B. So you can see here, all elements of A are in B. So let's see, it means A dot subset B means that all elements of A are in B. So it's going to return a Boolean value, either true or false. So the very first one we want to say, if grades is a subset of letters. So let's see, grades dot is subset. Please, all these ones are inbuilt keywords. You don't have to you just have to know it and bring it out at some point. Is subset letters. You can see it's coming out as false because it is not all set A is not a subset of what? It is not all of them that is a what? Check if set A is the subset of the other B, which is not true. You can see grades, it has A, B, C, and there is no C here. If there was C here, that's when your answer could have come out to be something true. So let's see something like this. You can see we have to define another variable, another set here. Say grades underscore small. We now define it to be A and B, and now use it to test grade underscore small dot is subset letters. Is going to give us true. Why is it so? Because there is AB. There is AB in letters as well. So you can see we have AB has letters has AB, and that is why it is a subset of what? Grade small, and it is returning true. So is grade small a subset of grade 2? Yes, it's also true. Why is it true? Because grade has AB as well, and it's also going to be true. So the same thing with let's look at superset. Is superset checks if set A is the superset of the other one B. So A dot is superset B. So you're going to see letters dot is superset. This superset this is going to return false. You can see it is not true because it is not a superset of this. But letters is a superset of grade small because everything that is inside the letters, the grade small has it, so it becomes the superset of it. I don't know if you have any questions about superset. Is superset, please ask and it's going to be answered. So that's the only way I can explain. It's like the guy that has everything that you have, he has it already. So there's no need. He is your superset. Okay. Let's look at the symmetric difference. Symmetric difference checks first. It checks the symmetric difference between A and B. That means that all elements which are only in A plus all elements which are only in B. So you can see here we're trying to say this union is based on what? It means that all elements which are only in A and all elements which are only in B. We are going to see a practical example here. You can see here letters A, B, F, L, T, grades A, B, C. Letters dot symmetric underscore difference grades. You can see here what is going to come out is going to be C, F, L, T. Those ones that are not the same at all. Those ones that are not common to each of these particular ones are going to come out. You can see C in grades there is no, in grades there is C, but there is no C in letters. In F, in letter there is FLT, but there is no FLT in grade. So those are the symmetric difference that are coming out, and it makes a whole lot of sense. So you can see them, they're like the prodigals, and everybody is behaving the same way. But you guys are saying, Sam, my friend, I am not interested. I'm standing on my own, and I don't want to belong to the other guys. So I come out as my own single. If I'm standing alone, CFLT. So that's the where I can explain symmetric difference in a practical or in a maybe in a life kind of scenario. I don't know if you understand what symmetric difference is at this point. I think this was just more of like a revision to some certain concepts you knew already. And if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask as well. And if not, let's continue. The next one we're going to look at is set operations. Set operations when it comes to, can we add, can we remove, can we do a whole lot of things, can we sort it, can we reference it, maybe want to call upon it. So we still do the same thing. We change the list to set, and you see what we did here. We call it again. So how can we add to a set? We're using the word, the add function. You can see dot add, and you want to add F to it. By the time we call out the grades again, you can see that there's F. The same thing with T and the rest, and you can see. So now if you want to add another, if you want to add the same element, Python will ignore that same element. So if you call to add F again, it will not answer you. It will still return only one F. Why do you remove? You use the dot to remove. You call out the name of the set and put in the element you want to remove. And by the time you call out grades again, you can see C has gone out of this particular encounter. It's no longer here in this set. Same thing with F. If you check it out, it's going to be removed as well. So you can see the different operations that we are using on this particular set. So how can we look over a set? It's the same thing. So for letter in letters is representing set itself. So we print letter. By the time we print letter, we have A, B, A, L, T, and you can call out the grades. By the time we call out grades, you can see, okay, grades is already A, B, T already. But how can we look over a set? You can see almost the same thing that we have done over and over again. We can do it red, and there is no errors. So the same thing with for G in grades, we look over them and it makes it wonderful as well. So we can see now we have assignments in sets. Remember when we did analyzing, when we did the other ones, when it comes to tuples and dictionary as well, assignment is analyzing, giving another name. By the time we say, okay, tuple assignment when we did the other time, how can we make it work? So A equals to 257, and analyzing means that B is now equals to A. And by the time we now print it out, we can see that A and B are now the same. Okay, what if we want to add elements into B? By the time we add elements into B, you can say, okay, B dot add new. By the time we add anything to element B, A will also be the same thing. A will also be the same thing. And if we want to check it out, is A and B, A is V. It means it is true because they are what? The same thing. The same thing with when it comes to using the, okay guys, okay, sorry for that. A equals B equals is going to give us true because it is the same thing. And also it's going to be a superset, is a subset of it as well, because everything that is inside A is also in B, is also a superset because everything that is A, everything that A has, B, okay, everything that B has, A has gotten it already. So it's also a superset. So how can we add a new element to A? A dot add, we add things to it, and by the time we add it, all of them will also have it because we have analyzed it together that B, anything that A has, just like maybe like a son, anything I have as a father, my son also has it, or anything I have as a husband, my wife is also the owner of it, something like that. Just trying to, so if I decide to slap, if I come inside the house, and I remember when we were back in school, the secondary school, like they like what they call a principal will come as like, my these prefects are representing me as a person. So if you insult them, you are insulting me as well. So anytime you beat up a prefect, then back then you are also beating up the principal, and you will be expelled, something like that. But I don't know if that one just came into my head. I don't know if that explains it well for you. So you can see the concept of add here. So now the next thing we're going to look at is adding multiple elements to a set. Adding multiple elements to a set. You can see this is fruit. This is a fruit kind of set. Apple, orange, and melon. And we call it out. And we now said, okay, please take note of what I'm doing now. So more fruits, we call out more fruits. And we now said, okay, equals to cherry and banana. This is a list. More fruits, we call it out cherry, banana. And we want to do what? Please pay attention what I'm using now. Fruit dot update. I'm using dot update here, and I'm adding more elements to it instead of adding just one to it. And I'm using referencing a list to it. But by the time I use dot update and I put more fruit, which has cherry and banana, and I call out fruit, you can see that we have apple, banana, cherry, melon, orange. So at this particular stage of our learning, we have used one class, just one class to destroy sets, and it is a very basic, important concept in the field of programming that you're also going to use it as well. So at this particular time of the class, I would like to stop here and say thank you for joining in tonight. We are through with set, and in the next class, we'll go into comprehension. And that one is going to be more of like, you're going to have to think deeper when it comes to comprehension. And after that will be a snake game, and we'll build it in a remarkable way. Please get set. It's going to be live and direct. There will be at some point we'll be hosting class that will be like, okay, how did you come up with the answer to this particular problem? And it is very important that you share your work on GitHub. Even this thing that you're doing, maybe what you're typing, maybe as you are doing this class, you used to type about it, you can just post it online, post it on your GitHub, let people see that you are into Python. And the way Python is going, it will be one of the best. In fact, it will be the programming language that will be used in every field of programming, because the way it's going, Pygames are developing new libraries. Python is developing new libraries for games now. And compared to the C# and the Java that they use for game development now, my dear, Python is taking over everywhere because of its simple syntax. People are saying, you can look at Python code and just understand what is going on. But if you go to all those C++ and Java, you see the syntax, you'll be like, God, what is really going on? Is it the same thing that I can do in Python, that you guys are doing all these things? So just learn Python, get to know it better and better. Thank you very much for joining. And if you have any questions, anything that disturbs you at all, you can always meet up with me online. Just chat me up. I'll be able to answer once I am available, because I will always be available. As far as I know that we are one of us here, and maybe have an issue, please. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic evening. We are through with set, and let's push ahead. Thank you. Bye for now.